The plank hold is easily the most underrated move in fitness, yet it's one of the most transformative exercises you can perform. This static position has roots in ancient strength-building traditions and military conditioning, where soldiers needed unbreakable core stability. What makes the plank particularly groundbreaking is its ability to activate more than 20 muscle groups at once. Unlike crunches that target small areas, the plank creates what scientists call global stabilization, meaning your entire body works as one unified system. Research shows isometric core work increases deep muscle fiber activation by up to 30% more than dynamic exercises. You're not just targeting surface muscles, you're developing the deep stabilizers that protect your spine and support lifelong posture. To do it properly, start in a push-up position with forearms on the floor and elbows under your shoulders. Your body should form a straight line from head to heels. Contract everything. Tighten your glutes, brace your core, push your forearms into the ground, and breathe steadily. Common mistakes include sagging hips, raising the hips too high, or holding your breath, all of which ruin the exercise. Beginners should aim for 3 30-second holds with 60-second rest. Advanced individuals can target 3 rounds of 90 seconds. What you just felt during the plank is the beginning of something far bigger. The core stability built through isometric training isn't just aesthetic. It's about restoring your body to move and function like it did years ago. What most programs never explain is that this single hold is only the entry point to reversing the aging process by working with your body instead of fighting against it. Now, let's continue building that foundation with the next exercise. The wall sit is a deceptively simple classic that has sculpted legs for decades. It became a staple in military training and basketball conditioning because it develops the kind of muscular endurance that directly improves real-world performance. Isometric leg training like the wall sit creates a unique adaptation in your muscle fibers. Unlike traditional squats that move through a range of motion, holding a static position forces your muscles to rely heavily on slow twitch fibers, responsible for endurance and definition. Studies show that isometric training at specific joint angles can increase strength by 15% at that exact position, essentially programming your body to be stronger in that 90-degree squat posture. To perform it correctly, place your back on a wall with your feet shoulder-width apart, about 2 feet out. Slide down until your thighs are parallel to the ground, forming a 90-degree bend at your knees. Keep your back flat and your core engaged. Common mistakes include letting the knees collapse inward or not going low enough. If you're not at parallel, you're missing the full effect. Start with 30 to 45-second holds for 3 rounds. Advanced trainees can hold from 90 seconds up to 2 minutes. The single-leg glute bridge hold addresses one of the biggest issues of modern living: glute inactivity. We chose the single-leg version because it forces each side to work alone, exposing and correcting strength imbalances. Holding this position isometrically teaches your nervous system to maintain hip stability under fatigue. This improves performance across all activities and reduces pain in everyday life. The glute max is your body's largest muscle, and when engaged properly, it becomes a metabolic powerhouse. To perform it, lie on your back with knees bent. Lift one foot and bring that knee toward your chest. Drive through your opposite heel to lift your hips as high as possible. Your body should form a straight line from shoulder to knee. Maintain an intense glute squeeze throughout. Brace your core to avoid hyperextending your lower back and keep your hips level. Common errors include using the lower back instead of the glute or letting the hips rotate. Start with 30-second holds per side for 3 sets. More advanced individuals can hold for 60 to 90 seconds. The hollow body hold is the secret weapon of gymnasts and one of the most effective core stability movements ever created. This position teaches true stability, not just strength. Many people can do endless crunches, but can't sustain a hollow hold for even 30 seconds. The hollow position deeply trains the transverse abdominis, the muscle that functions like a natural weight belt around your spine. Strengthening it through isometric work can reduce back pain and enhance performance in nearly every movement. To do it correctly, lie on your back with arms extended overhead. Press your lower back firmly into the floor with a slight pelvic tilt. Lift your shoulders and legs off the ground, creating a smooth banana-shaped curve. Only your lower back and glutes should remain on the floor. The key is maintaining that lower back contact. Your abs should work intensely to prevent arching. Keep arms and legs straight and breathe evenly. Common mistakes include allowing the lower back to lift or focusing more on the shoulders than the pelvic tilt. Start with 20 to 30-second holds for 3 sets, building up to 45 to 60 seconds. The L-sit hold is the most difficult movement on this list, but it delivers massive rewards. Originating from gymnastics, it requires full body integration, pushing through your arms, pulling with your core, and maintaining rigid leg positioning. The L-sit heavily targets the hip flexors, an often ignored muscle group essential for posture and athletic performance. From a core development standpoint, the L-sit is superior to most AB exercises because it demands simultaneous isometric contraction of multiple muscle groups. To perform it, sit with legs extended in front of you. Place your hands beside your hips, fingers forward. Press into the floor to lift your body. Keep legs straight and parallel to the ground. This is an advanced hold, so progressions are crucial. Beginners can start with bent knee holds and straighten the legs over time. Holding even 10 to 15 seconds at first is a major win. Advanced individuals can aim for 30 to 60-second holds. The pike push-up hold combines the benefits of being inverted with serious shoulder and core strengthening. This hold works your shoulders from a completely different angle while developing the stability needed for more advanced movements. The inverted position offers unique benefits: improved blood flow to the brain and potential reductions in blood pressure. From a strength standpoint, the pike hold targets the anterior deltoids, serratus anterior, and deep core. To perform it, begin in a downward dog position. Walk your feet in until your body forms a tight V shape. Lower your head toward the ground by bending the elbows, stopping 2 to 3 inches before contact. Hold this bottom position. Distribute weight evenly between both hands and keep your core tight. Elbows should angle backward, not flare outward. Beginners can hold for 15 to 20 seconds. Advanced trainees can target 45 to 60 seconds. The dead hang is likely the most primal exercise here. It's literally how our ancestors navigated trees. This simple hold corrects forward head posture and rounded shoulders caused by screen usage, while offering powerful spinal decompression. The dead hang is unmatched for grip strength and provides natural traction for the spine. The gentle stretch created by hanging reduces pressure on discs and can ease compression-related back pain. To perform it, grab a pull-up bar with an overhand grip, hands shoulder width apart. Allow your body to hang with arms straight. Slightly engage your lats to protect your shoulders without pulling up. Maintain a neutral spine while gravity decompresses your vertebrae. Keep your shoulders lightly activated and breathe normally. Start with 20 to 30-second holds for 3 sets. Advanced individuals can work up to 60 to 90 seconds. To get the best results from these 7 isometric
had pain in the front of his hips for months due to weakness in these small muscles. He couldn't squat without shifting, and his single leg squat was extremely painful. I started him on a single leg bridge with a band attempting to cave his knee, which cued those small muscles to engage and maintain proper knee positioning, while the larger glute max drove the hips up. Next, a side plank clamshell driving the downside glute off the ground. Holding for 5 seconds is key to activate the glutes properly. Last, a kickstand squat, again fighting a band, thus requiring those stabilizers to engage and maintain sufficient hip control throughout the entire motion. And with those muscles now primed for better
right, with equal weight distribution on both feet. To initiate the squat, the patient is asked to bend the hips and knees, shifting the hips backwards and the body forward, as with sitting down. Start with 1/3 or half the distance of sitting down. Move slowly down to a count of 3, then return slowly to standing at a count of 3 again. Focus on pushing through your heels, feeling tension in your buttocks. Do 1 set of 10 repetitions. Stand in split stance. The heel of the back leg will lift off the ground slightly. The squat is now performed with the side with the full foot on the ground. Move slowly, 3 to 4 counts up and 3 to 4 counts down. Do 1 set of 5 repetitions. Ask the patient to hold on to something like a chair. Then transfer the weight onto your standing leg and keep your pelvis level. Lift the foot of the other leg off the ground and hold it for 5 to 15 seconds, depending on the comfort level, and only as long as you can keep the pelvis level without a hip drop. There should be no pain over the hip. Place 1 foot up on a step directly in front of the hip, not in the midline. Start with hand support opposite the foot of the step. Slowly lunge forward over the foot, keeping the kneecap straight ahead. Push up onto the step by squeezing the buttock. Don't let the hips sway out to the side. Ensure the hips are level and think about keeping a straight line down the side of your body. There should be no lateral hip pain, but some fatigue ache in the buttock muscles is normal. The movement should be done slowly, like the squats, 3 to 4 seconds up and 3 to 4 seconds down. Place an elastic band around the ankles. Stand in a doorway with one foot on a non-slip surface and the other foot with a sock on or on a sliding mat. Sometimes a folded hand towel can also be the sliding pad. The patient bends the hips and knees about 45 degrees, so they are in a shallow squat. Then the patient slides the slip slide foot out to the side, pushing against the resistance of the band to take the knees apart and take the knee almost to a straight position or as far as it is comfortable on the hip. The movement should be slow and controlled, 2 to 3 seconds out and 2 to 3 seconds back in. Do 5 to 10 repetitions each for 1 to 2 sets. The exercises were done in 14 individualized sessions with a physio.
So in an extended position, start with your hands back first, okay? So we're gonna go with the right side first, okay? So notice my right leg here. We're gonna internally rotate the leg, so it's externally rotate to start. Internally rotate, and then lift. Hold it for about 5 seconds, keep internally rotating, and let it sit. Okay, then you're going to bring it back into external rotation, internally rotate again, and lift. Hold for about 5 seconds and bring it down. Okay, once you get better at that, try it with no hands. Okay, so we're going to do the left leg now, internally rotate, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your back has to go like this, or you have to sit back just to get it, you're not ready yet to do it without your hands, okay? So make sure you're not gonna have a perfect position here, but make sure you stay pretty straight with the back. And the goal here is to use these hip flexors and all of these muscles that are responsible for internal rotation to fire up. And there's nowhere to hide here once you start doing this. So in the beginning, this may be really hard, but I've seen my clients get a lot of progress here after just a few reps.
When you're using this exercise,
different positions of the hip, we're going to have to start introducing some abduction. And this is a great way, from the seated butterfly, this is a great way to start introducing functional and relatively simple abduction of the hip. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to think about karate chopping to the side, right? So we're in this butterfly position. We're going to, under control, take our leg out and kick it to the side. And this should fire up all of these external rotators there and that glute medius, okay? Same thing on the other side, kicking out to the side here. Back to the butterfly position, shifting our body weight a little bit to the side and kicking out here. Abduction of the hip, because we're kicking the leg out to the side, and we're using the glute medius and these outside hip muscles to really get into that position.
so how'd you do on that one? If you are like the vast
So when
majority,
you bring that knee into the chest first, no pinching, no pain. Second, can you actually lift up and back down? So shift and back down. So what are we looking for when we're doing that? Another way to integrate this, sorry about the droopy sweater, is to make sure neutral spine, so not too swayed, not flat, definitely not arching up like a cat. A one-legged down dog prep, which is medical therapeutic yoga based. Spiral the arms forward and the shoulders backwards. That's a shoulder lock. And see if you can lift off towards a down dog and back down without breath holding, without the psoas being snarky, and without the pelvis dipping. What it would look like is if you try to, and this is in my hip series on YouTube, if you want to see what it looks like when someone can't do that, I have a video of that. But when I do that, I should be able to lift and lower without this happening, right? Without the pelvis dropping. So test that on both sides. All the way up, smooth all the way down. I don't lose neutral.
Lying leg lift is an excellent exercise to keep working on our glute medius strength. Assume a side lying position again, but bring your knees closer to a 90-degree angle. Straighten the top leg and lift the leg as high as you can without changing the pelvis. Pause at the top for 5 seconds. I find that the pauses in these exercises are essential for activating and fatiguing the muscles that we're trying to use. Single leg Romanian deadlift. From a standing position, hinge your hips forward and send one leg back. Keeping your spine as straight as you can, attempt to get your torso to about parallel to the ground. Use your whole foot to grip the ground and try to keep your hips as squared up as possible. One way to think about this is to keep both feet pointing straight forward as you go through the hinge movement. Next is the single leg Romanian deadlift with a straight leg. This is the same as the previous movement, but now we will keep the working knee all the way locked out. This usually becomes more challenging for most people because it requires more flexibility and coordination of the hamstrings and spine. The single leg good morning requires a lot of control and strength from the hips because you don't have your off leg going backwards to counterbalance you. For this version, float the foot of your non-working leg right next to the ankle of your working leg. Keep the knee all the way locked out, keep your spine straight, and hinge your hips forward until you reach parallel and come back up. For the split squat, start in a half kneeling position with the bottom knee right under the hip. Dig your back toes into the ground and squat yourself up. Try to move the hips in only the vertical plane. Put about equal pressure into each foot, which means both legs and hips will be working equally. Keep an upright torso, keep your hips straight forward, and try to keep the back hip extended throughout the whole movement. The split squat becomes harder when you elevate both feet. Now, the hips have a greater range of motion to work in, which requires more mobility, strength, and coordination. The goblet squat is an excellent way to integrate everything that we've been working on thus far. Hold a dumbbell right under your chin. Squat down slowly, keeping your elbows to the inside of your knees, which will make your knees push out slightly. Lower down, controlled, pause at the bottom, and stand back up. Keep your torso as upright as possible and bring your hips down as low as possible. Your feet can be angled out slightly. If you are challenged to get even to parallel depth, place something under your heels to allow you to get deeper into the squat. In my opinion, the goblet squat is the best way to start gaining real life hip, leg, and total body strength. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can check the description.
Exercise and 4 sets. I'm only going to do 1 set with you, but I will leave a timestamp so you can go to whatever exercise you want to go to. Closer to the wall for the easy version and further away for, oh Lord, I didn't know I had those muscles back then. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You can kiss the wall if you want. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Your calves and ankles do half the work keeping you upright when you walk, but regular walking barely activates them. For the easy version, sit down. For the hard version, stand next to the chair. You can use your hand for balance, but don't use it to push. 1, 2, lower with control. Don't drop like a sack of potatoes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. People often feel smoother, safer walking the same day they do these exercises.
Is resisted hip abduction in standing. So stand about a foot from the wall, then take your affected leg out to the side and push it into the wall with your ankle. Only push as hard as feels comfortable to you. Hold the exercise for about 5 seconds and repeat about 10 times. You can increase the hold time and number of repetitions as you get stronger. The third basic exercise is the side plank. So the idea here is to lie on your side and then support yourself on your elbow while keeping your lower body in a straight line right down to your ankles. So the only point of contact with the floor should be your lower forearm and elbow and your lower ankle. Hold for about 15 seconds and then swap sides. Progress by holding the positions for a longer time. Aim for 30 seconds and repeat 2 or 3 times for each side. If you can't manage this, which might be the case if you have shoulder or elbow problems, then don't worry. Just leave this one out and concentrate on the others. The next.
Now the bird dog is an exercise where you lift one hand and one leg at the same time without losing that neutral pelvic position. But for many people, this is going to be quite challenging to the full bird dog. And the full bird dog is, again, we find the neutral and then we go opposite hand with opposite leg, trying not to rotate the spine, keeping everything as straight and as stable as possible. Keep breathing into the tummy, don't hold your breath, hold for 10 seconds and then drop back down again like this, and then alternate to the other side. So again, what we want to do is we want to work in this kind of way for about a minute, so alternating every 10 seconds, holding that contraction. And the beauty of this exercise is it translates across beautifully to how we use our
arms straight forward and our feet normal. We're going to squat down, 1, 2, 3, pause, up, 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's the glutes, not the back. We'll do that up to 8 reps. And then we're going to stagger. So right foot back, do only 4 reps of these at first because it can kind of irritate the knee. and then left foot forward. If the knee is good, you can increase, but again, we want to add weight and make this harder over time. Level 2 versions of step up. So with the bench or table, place the affected leg up, keeping our torso upright, and using that glute, drive up, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3. And again, feel that glute, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3. Lateral wall slide with one hand on the wall with your foot on a slider. If you don't have this, you can use linoleum and a washcloth. We're gonna press out, 1, 2, 3, pause, and back, 1, 2, 3. Work up to 12 reps. If this is too easy, you can add a resistance band or go slower. Some clinical tests like
the touchdown squat. What you're gonna do is stand on a small plate. It's about 4 inches off the ground. Stand right in the middle, and what you're gonna do is push your hips back, bring your chest forward, and squat down. Now the big reason for people, again, developing that long piriformis syndrome is as they go down, that knee is going to come in. That's lengthening that piriformis, that lateral rotator, in this position, which is, again, shoving that piriformis against the sciatic nerve and recreating your symptoms. So just the simple cue of driving that knee out in line with your foot's nice and tripod, stable against the box, is going to align those fibers of the muscle a little bit better and take pressure off that sciatic nerve. Now, let's jump Ryan up here, and I want you to face that way. The big thing a lot of people do incorrectly with this single leg squat is they jam the knee forward at the very start. So stand all the way up on one knee, okay? Jam your knee forward at the start. That's how a lot of people incorrectly will do the touchdown. You're just loading up your quads in that position. We want to get a proper hip hinge. So butt goes back, chest goes forward, okay? Squat down until you tap your heel and then back up. The cue I like to use is you're tapping an eggshell, you're not breaking the eggshell with your free leg, okay? Don't let your knee hit my hand, huge hip hinge. It's a little tough. Push your butt back, bring your chest forward. Good, and then all the way back up. Perfect, just like that. Again, if you're doing this correctly with enough hip hinge, you should feel those glutes kicking on like crazy on that side. Something like this early on, if this is tough for you, I don't care if you are one of the strongest power lifters in your weight class like Ryan is in USAPL, you should be capable of doing this with ease. And an inability to do a single leg squat is showing you that you have a deficit in motor coordination and control that could be hindering you along your path. So, something like that, do you already feel your glutes kicking on a little bit? There you go.
On a support and lowering your weight on the front leg, you force that single limb to handle the entire load of stability and strength. It challenges proprioception, your body's ability to sense its position in space, which naturally declines with age. This movement integrates everything we have discussed: the vertical drive of the step up, the hip extension of the kickback, and the lateral stability of the abduction. It effectively bulletproofs the knees and hips by ensuring that each leg is independently capable of supporting your body weight. When I see a patient in their 70s master this movement, even with a shallow range of motion, I know their risk of a debilitating fall has dropped precipitously. They are not just building muscle, they are building neurological trust in their own limbs. Ultimately, the goal of introducing these 5 movements, step-ups, kickbacks, bridges, abductions, and split squats, is not to transform you into a bodybuilder. The goal is to shift your mindset regarding what exercise means after the age of 60.
One move that you should practice every single day to loosen up your hips, your groin, your lower back, and make your body feel so much better and more functional, it's this one right here, the squat. Just make sure that you have a chair or something in front of you for support as you go into the bottom position. And make sure you do it with good form. So make sure you start with your feet slightly outside of hip width, your toes slightly turned outward, and go ahead and lean back on your heels and rely on your hands on that chair for support as you come down. Only go as deep as you feel 100% comfortable and pain-free. And see if you can hold for 30 seconds at first and work your way up to 1, 2, or maybe even 3 minutes over time. Practice this daily, and your body will feel amazing again. And if you want more,
what's gonna happen is you're gonna go like this. And then as moments you're gonna breathe out all the way, your fingers are gonna go back in. That's totally fine. This isn't a traditional core exercise. Think of it more like rehearsing your mind-muscle connection with these muscles that have probably been off for a long time. So the second step is, can you push them out and take shallow breaths in and out for a while? Just little sips in and out while maintaining that lift in your core for an entire minute. Then from there, if you can start breathing all the way in and all the way out, without your fingers dropping inward like this, that's when you know you're actually making progress. At WeShape, we do this with our members every single day, called step jacks. So you're gonna bring your feet right underneath you, your hands by your sides like this, step out to the side, bring the arms overhead, and then step over to the opposite side, just like this. And pay attention to my knees. As I step to the side, I don't keep my knees facing forward because then I'm putting lateral pressure on a hinge joint. So when I step out, I almost turn my knees and my toes out a little bit to protect the knees and strengthen the hips and glutes a little bit more. So at speed, it looks like this. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Start slow and then work up in speed as you get more coordinated in this movement. Now, after you do 1 minute of this, we're gonna strengthen the core and stretch the spine at the same time. One of my favorite moves, the simple side bend. So feet right underneath your hips, toes forward. One hand goes on your hip, one hand goes overhead with a thumb pointed backwards. You're gonna kick that hip out, reach your arm up, and really think about length here. Don't think about how far you can cave your body towards the ground, but rather how much you can reach your rib cage and the side of your face toward the sky. It's all about length here. And you're gonna inhale as you go down, exhale as you come up, and just go side to side. And if you're a beginner, you don't have to go that deep. All you gotta do is just little baby reps like this, and you can improve your range of motion and strength over time. Now, let's focus a little bit on the lower body. One of my favorite movements here, you could do 1 minute of sit to stands, okay? So make sure your toes are slightly turned outward, and then as you come down, weight shifts to the heels, but a high chair push-up. You could do this on the back of a chair or on a countertop. You just want a nice sturdy surface. That's just about like a little bit under your waist height. The higher it is, the easier this is. The lower the surface, the harder this will be, okay? So you'll come into a push-up position. You'll squeeze the glutes and the core. And here's the kicker. You'll drop your shoulders down like this, and I want you to press your hands down into the chair until you feel your lats and core activate, and keep that the whole time. Now inhale, bring your elbows towards your sides to protect your shoulders. Exhale, push back up. And just like before, if that's too hard, you can just do half repetitions, just like this, okay? So finish 1 minute of that. Now stay in this position, and you're gonna finish with 1 minute of marching to strengthen the core and strengthen the hip flexors at the same time. Now, once you're done with those 5 movements, you start at the top and go through it one more time for an incredible 10-minute workout. My favorites, and it's one that almost nobody does, okay? So what you're gonna do is walk up to a chair like this, and the first one we wanna do is create space inside the hip capsule. So you bring your foot up on the chair like this, and I want you to imagine you're sinking your body weight backwards like this, okay? So my knee stays up, and I'm just gonna sink my body weight backwards, and what you'll feel is almost like somebody's pulling your leg out of the socket this way. This is gonna help create space inside the hip capsule. You can either just stretch and breathe right here, or you can just do some little movements and try to open up the hip, okay? Now, bonus points, if you can reach your foot a little higher. I did it on the low chair, but you could even come up here. Now your body weight is pulling your hip capsule open more, which is a fantastic way to do the stretch. Maybe you have something in between as well that you could practice this stretch on. Now, once you do a minute on the left and a minute on the right, then we're gonna open up the hips and do the hip external rotators. So place your foot on the chair again. This time, let your knee and your foot just kind of fall to the outside like this, okay? Now you should feel a stretch on the outside of this hip. If you don't, you can start to bow forward from the waist. Keep a nice flat back. Don't round your back, all right? Bring your belly button towards your leg like this. If you need to, you can even put your fingertips on the chair for support. And then breathe and relax in this position. You'll get a ton of a stretch in this position if you just continue to imagine bringing your belly button towards your foot like this, okay? Again, 60 seconds on the left side, 60 seconds on the right side. Bonus points again if you can put your foot on a higher surface and do the stretch this way, okay? That's gonna help open up that hip even more. Now the last one, like I said, this one's one of my favorites. It's hip internal rotation, which is a range of motion most of us don't train, okay? So what you'll do for this one is put your foot up on the chair, and this time, instead of letting your knee cave to the outside like this, I want you to let it come to the inside like this. We're trying to internally rotate the hip. Now for some of you, this can cause a little bit of pain inside the knee joint. That's totally normal. It just means our hips aren't very mobile. So once you get to that point where you feel that knee start to ache, grab your thigh like this and twist it with you. Usually you'll be able to get a little bit more range of motion if you use your hands to apply a little bit of external force to your thigh. Hold for a second or two, and then breathe and relax. See if you can keep going deeper, and then slowly come out of that position. Don't go so far that it hurts your knees, but we do want to feel that weird internal hip rotation stretch feeling that you'll feel deep inside your hips when doing this stretch. Again, 1 minute on the left, 1 minute on the right, and then your hips will be so much looser and they'll feel so much better. And when you click the link below, or like this, I want to show you 2 of my favorite stretches that are going to help you fix this, okay? And you can do these stretches frequently. We call them movement snacks at WeShape because you want to take a little snack of movement throughout the day to help your body feel better. So the first one, clasp your hands behind your back like this, straighten your arms like this, drop your shoulders away from your ears, and lift your chest toward the sky while you're squeezing your shoulder blades together.
okay? If that's too hard, then you can grab a little washcloth or a towel and you can put it behind your back like this. You do the same exact thing, squeezing the shoulder blades together, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, but your hands don't have to be as close together. Now this is really good because this simple stretch, it stretches all of the muscles across the fronts of the chest and the shoulders right here. We want to loosen these muscles up if we want better posture, but it also activates and strengthens these muscles right here, which pull the shoulder blades back and down, which we also want to strengthen, right? Because better posture isn't just about stretching these muscles, it's about strengthening here and lengthening here, okay? Now the second thing you want to do if you really want to open up your chest is a simple stretch that you can do every single day in a doorway in your house. So what you want to have is a doorway in your house like this, okay? And what you're going to do is bring your elbow to about shoulder height or slightly higher on both sides, and you're gonna turn your thumbs backwards. Now take one step forward, one step backward, and try to bring your body through the door. And as you do this, you'll feel a deep stretch into your chest. You can even play around with the height of your elbows relative to your shoulders to see if it deepens the stretch. Find the spot that feels like the deepest stretch for you. Now, as you walk through this doorway throughout the day, you can come in and just hit the stretch for 10 or 15 seconds every single time you walk through that doorway. And if you do those two things, clasp the hands behind the back, maybe 3, 4, 5 times a day, you do that right there, it's gonna stretch these muscles, strengthen these muscles, and dramatically improve your posture.
And weakness in the ankle as well. So I've got 2 more exercises that you should do in order to treat the actual cause of those symptoms. The first thing is going to be some towel scrunches. You're going to lay down a towel on a hard surface, a tiled floor or a hardwood floor are my 2 go-tos. I just have a clipboard underneath here. In my clinic, we sometimes use a sheet pan, anything that helps the towel to slide. And really simple, what you're going to do is gather that towel up underneath your foot, make just as big of motions as you can through your toes to pull that towel all the way in until it's all gathered up underneath your foot. When you get there, we can then reverse it. We can use the toes to push it out away from you as well. What we're doing here is we're working on the small intrinsic muscles of the foot that are responsible for the integrity of the foot. We're going to make that foot nice and strong to relieve some of the pressure that is placed on that plantar fascia. And in the clinic, I'll just set a 3-minute timer and patients will just gather this up and then push it out for about that 3-minute period of time. And then the last exercise is going to be some heel raises, but we're going to do it a little bit different, a little bit different variation. What I want you to do is take a tennis ball, put it on the floor, and then smash that between your heels. And so I'm going to push the tennis ball, I'm going to smash it between my heels, and in this position, I'm going to raise up onto my toes and then slowly lower right back down. And the reason behind this is you're going to feel a little more pressure on the outside of your foot as you come up and go down through these heel raises. That's a better position, that's a stronger, more functional position for your foot to push from during walking, running, and things like that. And so what we want to do is actually train the foot to get into that position, train the calf to push from that position. It's a great way to strengthen your calf and your ankles, but then also train your foot to push from that strong position to alleviate stress on that plantar fascia. And 3 sets of about 15 to 20 is typically what I recommend with that one. I hope these help.
This is the 90-90 hip lift with a left hip shift from Postural Restoration Institute. The purpose of this is to pull that left hip from a forward orientation to more of a neutral orientation. So to set up for this, we need to get in a 90-90 position where we have a 90-degree bend at both our knee and our hip, and the feet are flat on the wall. And we have a ball in between our knees that allows us to keep our knees in line with our toes and our knees in line with our hips. So it shouldn't be wider than that, it shouldn't be that much smaller than that. And what we're going to do to set up is make sure that we can feel our heels flat on this wall. But we're not going to peel our toes off, we're going to keep them flat. And so keeping our hands on our low rib cage, Trevor will have you exhale through your mouth nice and soft as you pull down on that wall with your heels. And again, keeping the whole foot flat, he should feel both hamstrings engage. And he should feel like his tailbone is about 1 inch or 2 off of the ground. But if his spine was like Velcro, it's just being peeled 1 vertebrae at a time off of the ground. But again, he's not going that high. So with both hamstrings engaged, he's now going to do a hip shift. And this is harder than it looks, so make sure you go nice and slow. I'm going to have Trevor shift his right knee up and his left knee down, which is going to move his hips, and that's okay. And then I'm gonna have him press gently into the ball with just his left side, not his right side. So at this point, he should feel his left inner hamstring and his left inner groin muscle engage. The right side should have maybe a little bit of hamstring, but not a lot of muscular tension is happening on this right side. Once he has that, he's gonna exhale through his mouth, getting all that air out, really all of that soft 5 to 10 second exhale until he feels his side abs, not his six pack, but a little bit of side abs, and then hold that tension nice and soft as he inhales through his nose. He should feel his rib cage expand. He's gonna do 5 breaths of that, maintaining this position right here. The truth is, most people are gonna have a really hard time feeling their hamstrings with just that wall reference. So we recommend for most people starting off with something supporting their shin, not their entire leg, but just this portion of the shin so that they can stay at a 90-90 angle. You want to set it up so that the whole foot can still be flat on something, so we're not off the wall digging the back of our heel into something. The whole foot's flat, and then you should be able to feel a lot more hamstring. But again, this isn't a 10 out of 10 hamstring contraction. It should be a 4 to 5 out of 10, maybe 6. And then he's going to come up, pulling down with his heels, and then doing that little shift. And it should be easier for him to maintain that. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to get in this right side lying 90-90 position, meaning we have a 90-degree bend at both our knees and our hips. And we're just gonna support our head with our right hand and arm to make sure that our head is nice and relaxed and chill. And the first thing we're gonna do is make sure we have a ball in between our knees, which is pretty compressible. And when you're just kind of resting in this position, it allows your knees to stay in line with your hips and also your feet like that. Now, depending on the individual, some people will benefit from having the ball further up. Other people will feel it more when it's further back in between their thighs a little bit more. You can experiment around and see what works best for you. But what we need to do is make sure this right foot is flush on the ground right here, but flat on the wall. And this left foot is going to be slightly above the level of the knee. I would recommend staying within your active internal rotation range. Whatever that is, I would start there. So if I have 20 degrees of internal rotation on my left hip, I'm probably gonna stay at that point. Now, what we're gonna do is slightly turn the left toes down. This is gonna bias a little bit more internal rotation. To initiate this, we're going to slightly tuck our hips, do a little posterior pelvic tilt. Now inhale, keeping both feet flat on the wall, but focusing on the left heel, and shift the left knee back. Exhale, push down into the ball. You're gonna feel your left inner thigh activate. Also, it can help to push your right knee down into the floor, so both knees go down on the exhale. Inhale through your nose, shift the knee a tiny bit further back. If you can't get any further back, have the intention to, and that will kick on your inner thigh a little bit more. What should also be happening is you should feel your left glute med activate. That's gonna be the muscle. If you have this bone right here on the side of your hip, it's gonna be just behind that. Not on the bone or your TFL muscle, which runs down the side of that bone. It should be slightly behind the bone. That's what you're looking for there. And you wanna integrate that with the inner thigh. So inhale, pull back, exhale, push down. And again, it can be really helpful if you're pushing the right knee down into the ground the entire time as well. If you are feeling that pinchiness in the side of your hip, in your hip flexor, some uncomfortable sensation maybe in your TFL instead of your glute med, then you can try getting a little further away from the wall. And I wouldn't go beyond about a 60-degree angle at your knees and your hips, but you can work getting a couple inches further away, doing the exact same thing, getting this up a little higher, turning it in, and then that should help most people. The most common mistake in this is that people are going to lose their foot contacts. So they'll lose something on their foot, or their right foot will come off of the wall. Make sure both feet are flat, but the focus is on that left heel. The other thing is people's shoulders are going to roll forward like that, and that can lead to some uncomfortable sensations and pinchiness in the hips. So make sure you got your shoulder and head stacked over your pelvis here. Now keep in mind, this asymmetrical pattern is what most people are biased towards, and I see in the overwhelming majority of cases, most people benefit from addressing the left hip in this context. That doesn't mean that this isn't going to be potentially helpful for your right side. It could be. It's just that you might need to take a couple extra steps on top of that. So if you want to learn more about this asymmetrical pattern and other patterns associated with it, then you can check out this left AIC video, which I'll link down below in the description. On the left, as it relates to creating that internal rotation proximally, is already taken into account when you look at the traditional PRI drills, or when you have a lot of these exercises that are promoting internal rotation of both the pelvis and the femur on the left. So you don't really have to worry about it all that much. You want a foam roller, and that usually works best for this activity. And you want to set up where you can get your knee in line with your hip as much as you can, but it's not going to be maximal hip extension for a lot of people. Some people have to bring their knee slightly in, and that's okay. You just want to be in as much hip extension as you can get in without losing your hip tuck. So the first step is to get this back, and for a lot of people it's further back than they really initially realize. I'd encourage you to film yourself doing this. And then give me a nice slight tuck of the hips there, Keith. And now he's going to feel those ribs come down, and he's gonna dig down with this left knee and drag it back to engage his inner thigh. Now his left inner thigh is engaged. He's digging down on that foam roller with the knee, pulling it back inwards towards his body. Now he's gonna take that left arm and reach it towards his left knee, but again, we're making sure we're not losing our posterior pelvic tilt here. Now, he's in a good position, got his inner groin on, got his left abs on as he exhales. He's going to turn these toes down and lift this up as much as he can without feeling a cramp in the side of his hip. And then he's gonna inhale and lower it back down. Exhale, come up. Good. Actively reaching towards his knee, inhaling, coming down, making sure we're still trying to pull the foam roller inwards towards our body. So in this in position, he should feel the side of his butt cheek. I'm gonna move your hand really quick there, Keith. He's gonna feel the side of his butt cheek right here. You wanna roll that hip over a little bit more. Right here, he's gonna feel the side. If you feel down your leg right here, then that's a sign that you're probably lifting up too high, or your leg is too far back and you're not in real hip extension. You're probably arching your back at this point. If that's the case, you can just move that knee up further on the foam roller. But just make sure that you're in as much hip extension as you can get without losing this tuck, and you're feeling the side of your butt cheek rather than the side of your leg. You can tell the difference between those two things because there's a bony protrusion kind of poking out from the side of your hip. If it's around that region and below it, that means you're kicking out a compensatory muscle. If it's behind that, then you know you're probably getting the right muscle. That's your gluteus medius. However, on the right side, we
corkscrew, and this one's going to hit the lower back also. So this time around, have your knee pointed right up towards the ceiling. Have your knee bent roughly at about 90 degrees. Take your hand, grip outside the knee, and now pull it across the body. What you want to focus on feeling is that stretch on the outside of your thigh or towards the hip right here, but pull over just a little bit more until you feel it in the lower back. This one too, if your lower back is locked up, you might get a satisfying self-pop cracker right here. We're going to bend our knee, we're going to cup right in front of it like this, and now we're going to pull our knee towards the other side shoulder, straight across the body, kind of diagonally. When you do this one, it's going to feel a little bit different. I usually feel it right here at the bottom of my cheek, more towards the bottom portion of my hip. You want to hold this one again for 20 to 30 seconds, relax, and then repeat this one a couple times on both sides. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of pain, let's say it's your right side, take that side's ankle and place over your other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. I know a lot of people with hip pain and tightness, this is not going to be the easiest position to get into. So to make it easier, straighten your other leg like this, put your ankle over the other side's shin, grab your pant leg right here or in front of the shin, and then slide it up into position. But if you do have a lot of hip tightness, already in this position, you should feel a really good stretch right here on the outside of your hip. If that's the case, let gravity do all of the hard work. Just try to be in this position for an extended period of time, 30 seconds upward towards a minute. If you need to release it, just slowly pull up on your knee like this. But what we want to do is take this to the next level, engage some more muscles and get some more relief. So what I'm going to do is cup around my bent knee just like this, and then pull my knee towards the other side shoulder, just nice and slowly. As you do this, you're going to feel a really good stretch form right here on the outside of your thigh that works down towards the hip. Once you feel that deep but comfortable stretch, you're then going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. From there, release it, and then repeat this a couple more times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And I do recommend doing this on both sides just to keep everything nice and loose. So the next movement is actually going to focus a little bit more on strengthening these muscles, and it's going to target a muscle called the piriformis, which can cause not only a lot of hip pain, but a lot of sciatic-like symptoms going down the back of your thigh. So this time around, what we're going to do is just let gravity take our leg weight until we feel that gentle stretch right here in the hip. But let's try to build into this one just a little bit more. What you're going to do with this bent knee is press it down towards the floor. Don't use your hands, only use your leg strength. Keep pressing that down until you feel a really good activation of those muscles around the hip. From there, you're going to hold this for 5 seconds. You're going to relax and then repeat this 5 to 10 times. Again, with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If you have a little bit more energy and this is really helping out, you're more than welcome to throw more repetitions in. But go through all of these movements. If one is helping you out a little bit more, at that point, throw more repetitions in and just make sure to do this on both sides. This one is called a wall glide. What we need is a smooth wall. Start off with your whole backside flush against the wall with the painful side on top. Support your head with your hand just like this. This bottom leg, we're going to bend our knee and press our foot into the wall for support. The top leg is going to be straight at the knee, and we're going to gently press our heel into the wall. What we want to do is just slowly raise our heel and our foot right here upward towards the ceiling, so it's kind of gliding up. The more that you go up, the more that you're going to feel the muscles around the hips start to fire. I pretty much feel it in my groin, across the pelvis, thighs, and also in the hip. Once you feel it in the hips, you're going to hold this for a second or two, and then you're going to slowly come back down, resisting against your leg weight. So we're going to resist going up, and we're also going to resist going down. Hits the muscles just a little bit differently. But try to do this one nice and slowly for about 10 repetitions. And with each repetition, challenge yourself to go up just a little bit more. And afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you're more than welcome to throw in another set or two. To take this one to the next level, what we can do is add in hip rotation, which will help give us more pain-free range of motion. So what we're going to do is raise our foot up like this, but as we raise it up, we're going to turn our foot outward as much as we can. This can become very challenging, so build into it. You're going to hold this one, and then you're going to come back down, but as you come back down, turn your foot inward like this. So we're focusing on external rotation and then also internal rotation of the hip. Progress into that one when you are ready. But to make this one even more challenging, what you can do is slide away from the wall so you don't have the support of it. So give that one a try too. Just remember, whatever you do on one side, you want to switch towards the other side and repeat to keep everything in balance. Here's a really right in bed or on a floor. It's called the clamshell bridge. Just lie flat on your back like this. What we're going to do is start off by taking our feet and then pressing them together, just nice and gently. From there, we're going to take our knees, bend them, and then wing them down towards the floor as much as we can until we feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of our thighs that goes towards the groin into the hips. Really make sure that you feel it in the hips. Once you feel that, we're then going to brace our core muscles. It's kind of like when somebody pokes you in your stomach, how you tense up. Mimic that and hold it during this exercise. It will help protect the spine. We're also going to squeeze the glutes. Your hands, you can put them on your hips. I like to put them off to my side for support. What you want to do then is slowly lift your hips and pelvis upward towards the ceiling until your body is in a nice straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. I know a lot of people will have pain or not enough strength to be able to get into this position. Like you can only go up a little bit. Do the best you can. Hopefully over time you will gain strength and flexibility to get in this position. But in this position you're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire. The core, the back, the glutes, and also right here on the front of your legs. These would be the hip flexors, a big instigator of hip pain. Hold this comfortably for about 5 seconds and then relax. Take a breather. On the next repetition, build into it by winging your knees further downward towards the floor. But try to do this for about 10 to 15 repetitions. And with each repetition, again, try to build into it as much as you can. Afterwards, see how you feel. If you have a little bit more energy and this is really helping out, you can throw in another set or two. If the exercises help, please support it.
You're gonna hug the right knee in, squeeze as you send your sternum up towards the sky. Flex your left toes, take a deep breath in, and then on an exhale, you're gonna slowly bring your right hand behind you, and you're not gonna twist to look back, you're just gonna twist to look to the right. So the right side of your mat, not all the way back. Just gentle and easy here, big breath, squeeze and lift. Great, then you're gonna come back to center. We're gonna bring the right knee out this time. And then we're gonna lift the right fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Left fingertips brace behind you. Then you're gonna think up and over as you reach the left fingertips to either grab the right fingertips to grab the outer edge of your left foot or your left shin or your left thigh. So you could be here, here, or here. Now actively draw the top of the right thigh, that meaty quad muscle and your thigh bone, the femur, down towards the earth as you inhale, lift your chest. Lots of awareness, 100% full body awareness. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, you're gonna release your hand, and then we're just gonna take the hands to the earth, the shin, or the foot, and you're gonna come all the way flat, belly towards the thigh. Just intention, you don't have to come all the way flat. Head to knee pose, take one more breath here, a big cycle of breath in and out. Yeah, breathing into that lower back body, and then slowly release, don't push anything, just let it kind of be where it's at today. And you're gonna guide the right knee all the way up, and then we'll just do switcheroos. We're gonna slowly drop the head down, drop the heels, and send the hips up high so you're in a standing forward fold. Allow the blood to flush to the head. You can clasp the elbows, rock a little side to side. Now you have gravity working for you here, so you might be able to straighten the legs just a bit more, but careful not to lock them. And then really, take this time to release. Have you been holding on to or carrying around something heavy? Left foot to the ground, and you're gonna cross your right leg over your left leg. Now check it out. Use the hands to press into the earth. You're going to shift your hips over towards the right side of your mat, and then slowly just allow your legs to fall towards the left side of your mat. Now, if you're experiencing any stress or tension in the lower back, you're going to skip this and you're going to come into maybe a more gentler twist, maybe an easy recline twist, knees just stacked right on top of each other. And then the other, to extend the legs all the way out. Great, bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. We'll take a final breath here.
Instead, I want you to stretch out your hips. And here's a really effective hip stretch that almost instantly takes that low back pain away. It's kind of silly, but you're on your knees and you're going to spread your knees as far apart as you can with your heels, kind of your ankles out behind you. You can stay up on your hands, but if you're able to drop down onto your elbows, even better. In this position, make sure that your tailbone is not tucked underneath. Try to arch your tail up to the sky and then press your hips back gently. You're going to feel that really intense stretch through your inner thighs up in that groin area. This is going to relieve a lot of tension through your pelvis, those specific areas that are pulling really hard on your low back and creating a lot of that pain. So this is far more effective for relieving your low back pain than stretching.
You might widen your feet just a bit more, drop your heels back, and come into this low yogi squat. A little malasana variation. So you know your body best, you're the expert, so you can stay in the froggy or come here. Big, full, deep breaths, no matter what variation you're choosing. Again, try to think of the body as one moving part. It's kind of why I'm so...
You can even feel it more, can't you?
I can see my leg pulls up a little bit.
Yep, right here. When this goes up. Now, if I push down here, you feel it more.
Right.
so we can stretch that iliopsoas. But the other two muscles, in order to get those to stretch, we have to get the heel this direction.
And
you start to feel that, don't you? Yeah. So now we're getting that rectus femoris and the sartorius, those two long muscles with more leverage, and we're going to stretch them. Now, if you want to do this by yourself and you don't have someone to help, which most people prefer, take a belt like this, put it around the ankle, and simply... look at this, making Bob smile. So you're just going to go pressure on, pressure off, 10 repetitions, or hold it 15 to 30 seconds.